Hello, bonjour, and welcome to your quick guide to the GCSE French Foundation Writing paper. This one here on the screen. We're going to be going through it question by question, and also from a marking perspective, from an examining perspective, to put your mind at rest. It's not as stressful as you think. And it's a 1 hour paper, and that is more than enough time to complete this paper, to proofread your work, and to make any changes that you need once you think you are finished. Don't waste your hour just sitting there having a doze. Let's start with question 1. So, in this paper booklet, which I've snipped so that I can put text boxes, etc. all over the place, we have question 1. Your question 1 will always be like this one. You will always have a photograph, and you will have to answer the question, Qu'est-ce qu'il y a sur la photo? Écrivez 4 phrases en français. What's in the picture? Write 4 sentences in French. Let's take a look at how many marks that is. 2 marks per sentence, 8 marks for question 1. First thing to remember, this is an easy level question. You don't need opinions, and you don't need tenses, and you don't need intensifiers and all of the other fancy schmancy stuff that we're definitely going to want later in the paper. But here, we just want to write accurate French sentences worth 2 marks apiece. My top tip is to start each sentence with Sur la photo il y a. I'm going to copy paste that onto all of my sentences. Now all I have to do is say what's in the picture. Let's have a think. What can I see? I can see a family. I can see food. I can see shopping. I might guess that they're in a kitchen. I might guess that they're in a shop. Okay, so let's go for it. This doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. This just has to be clear French. So, sur la photo, il y a une famille. In the picture, there's a family. 2 marks. I've got my verb, which is il y a. I've accurately described what's in the picture, and my sentence has no mistakes. 2 out of 2. Sur la photo, il y a some food. De la nourriture. Ooh, I can't spell today. Done. 4 femmes. Sur la photo, il y a du shopping. There you go. Family, food, 4 women, and some shopping. I am very happy with those 4 sentences. I've got my 8 marks. I didn't need any of those extra things we're going to need later in the paper, like does a sympathetic native speaker, so basically a nice French person, understand what I'm trying to say, even if there are some small spelling mistakes? If it's yes, it's 2. If it's no, but I can kind of see what they're saying, it's 1. And if I can't understand anything you've written, it's 0. So that's question 1. Let's move on to question 2. Now we are taking a look at question 2. As I said with question 1 before, question 1 will always be the same. Same with question 2. It will always be a 40-word question worth 16 marks with 4 bullet points. Now, first question, word count. Do we need to worry about the word count? Not really. As long as you've done at least 40 words, the examiner is not going to waste time counting. So if you write 50 words, 60 words, that's fine. If you write masses too many, reams and reams and reams of words, the examiner might say, right, I need a cut-off point here. However, if you're using up this space, you're not going to be penalised for too many words. So let's start with rule number 1 with these questions is to translate your bullet points. So the top of the question says, Vous écrivez un blog sur votre temps libre, mentionnez. You are writing a blog about your free time, please mention. La musique, le cinéma, le shopping, les médias sociaux. Let's hope you get this one because it's nice and easy. So we're talking about free time. What is bullet point number 1? La musique, easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. Okay, so I've translated my bullet points now. And my next job is I want to make sure that I write 1, 2, 3, 4 down the side of my page. It's obviously a little bit trickier when you're doing it on a computer. Let's get nice and big. Okay, so then I'm definitely not going to miss a bullet point. You could even write 1, 2, 3, 4 here so that you know, oh, 1's done, 2's done, etc. The way that this paper is marked is out of 10 and out of 4. Okay, I'm very particular about my font. So you've got content, which is out of 10, and language, which is out of 6. So that's your grammar, your range of language used, your accuracy, etc. Okay. So we need to remember that the only way I'm going to get 10 out of 10 for content is if I cover all 4 bullet points. Putting that 1, 2, 3, 4 down the side of your page means you won't miss one. So I'm writing about my free time in my blog, and I want to talk about music. I'm thinking about my language for this question. It hasn't asked me to put any other tenses in. I don't really need to put any other tenses in. I just need to make sure that I have at least 2 opinions. So here's my checklist. And justified. Opinion and justified. I need to make sure that I do 2 opinions and 2 justifications. When the examiner is marking this paper, they will put an O where you write 1 opinion and a J where you put another justification, and they need 2 O's and 2 J's, okay, to get you the full marks. So let's start with an opinion, shall we? Moi, j'aime la musique. And now let's justify it. Parce que ça me calme. Oh, look, a nice complex structure there. 8, 9, 10. I'm sorry, that's literally perfect and I didn't plan it. 10 words per bullet point on average. However, you can write loads of words for 1 bullet point and hardly any words for another bullet point as long as you've covered it. Okay, you don't need to balance out your bullet points. Right, now I know I need to be on number 2. What's bullet point number 2? Le cinéma, which I've already translated as cinema. I go to the cinema with my friends every weekend. Je vais au cinéma. And I'm spelling it like the question. I'm not skipping out the accent on the E. It's actually in the question, so I have no excuse to not to do that. So, je vais au cinéma avec mes amis chaque weekend, every weekend. Aren't I a social butterfly? Bullet point number 3. Let's take a look at it. Le shopping. So I've already got 1 opinion done, and I've justified it. Oops. Now I need to get another opinion and another justification in. So let's get another opinion in. Do you love shopping or do you hate shopping? Let's not be crazy here. We love shopping. So, j'adore faire du shopping. Need a reason, and I want to have a little bit of variety. I said parce que up here, so I'm going to say car down here. J'adore faire du shopping car c'est très. J'adore faire du shopping car c'est très. No, I put très, which we love because it is an intensifier. And we're going to go for agréable. It's very pleasant, agreeable. Oh, I've done another opinion and I've done another justification. I don't need to worry about my checklist anymore. And now, looking back at the top here, I've still got to get my 10 out of 10 for content. I've still got to do bullet point number 4. I knew that would delete that. Whoops. Okay, les médias sociaux. I use social media every day. J'utilise les médias. And again, I'm copying the spelling in the question. I have no excuse. This is where I'm going to proofread later and check I've spelled it correctly. J'utilise les médias sociaux chaque jour sur mon portable. And I'm going to chuck another opinion in just for the hell of it. J'aime le Snapchat. C'est divertissant. There you go. I have a very good answer here. I've made no mistakes. I've got an intensifier in. I've got a variety. So I've got parce que here, car here. I've got opinion, reason. Opinion, reason, opinion, reason. I've gone above and beyond. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points. My verbs are all in the right order. Everything's spelled properly. Anywhere that I've taken a word from the question, I've copied it exactly. So I haven't missed out my E accents here, for example. I haven't spelled socio incorrectly because it's a bit of a tricky one. I've double checked it against here. I'm happy with that. And now we shall move on to question 3. Hello and welcome to question 3. So, looking at question 3, it will always be these little translations going into French. So let's start with a nice easy one at the top. You'll notice that they kind of get a little bit trickier as they go down, and they usually have a different tense for the last one, which here we see is the past tense. So we're thinking about our E accent, okay, and our auxiliary verb, but we'll come back to him later. Let's start with him. English is fun. English, l'anglais, whoops, don't need a capital A. Et amusant. Everybody's favourite French word, amusant. That was easy. I don't think I needed to explain that one too much. I think you'll always start with the first one and be like, woohoo, 1 down, 4 to go. I go on holiday by train. I go, okay? So this is one that we need to make sure we've got in our arsenal. Je vais. We need to know that je vais is I go. On holiday. En vacances. If you're stuck on a word like holiday, maybe think of how a different way of saying it. So you might think, I might say I'm going on vacation. It's vacances. By train. Now, this might be a little bit of a tricky one. You might be thinking, I can't remember that tiny word by. Okay, so it is en train. But if you put par train or au train, they would be wrong, but you wouldn't lose masses of points. Okay. I talk with my friends in the park after school. I talk. Je bavarde or je parle. Yeah, you know both of those, I hope. With my friends. We've been saying this one since year 7. Avec mes amis. And if you put amis, that would be fine because it doesn't specify if they're girlfriends or boyfriends. In the park. Au parc. Again, this little word here might send you into a panic because you're in exam mode and everything is panicking in exam mode. However, don't let it panic you. If you can't remember the little way of putting those things together, au parc, and you put something like à le parc or à la parc or dans le parc, which would be fine as well, you don't need to worry. Like I said, your key messages will still be conveyed. So, je parle avec mes amis au parc après collège. You could also put l'école. Okay, lots of those words you know, but when your brain is in panic mode, like I just said before, you might think, I can't get past the words in the park. You could have put dans le as well. Don't let the panic set in. Leave it, go and do another question, come back if you're really, really, really panicking. But really, really, at the end of the day, little words like that are not going to make a massive, massive difference to your overall mark. Hopefully that's reassuring. It is important to recycle paper. It is. You know that one. Important. Nice and easy. To recycle paper. Now, this might be a point where you might be thinking, what's the word to? And again, if you start putting in little words here, you don't need to panic. You don't need little words here because to recycle in French is one word, recycler, and then some paper du papier, okay? If you put pour or de or something in between here, yes, you've made a mistake, but it's not the biggest mistake in the world, okay? So again, just try to remember this reassuring voice of reason saying that those little words are not going to make the biggest difference to your grade. And lastly, last Saturday, I celebrated my birthday at a good restaurant. Well, lucky you. Okay, last Saturday. Samedi dernier. Okay, we should know that dernier is last, like le weekend dernier, l'année dernière. Okay, and we should know that Saturday is samedi. Please revise your days of the week if you revise nothing else over the next however long you've got till your exam. People always get them wrong, and they're such an easy basic to quickly go over with a quick YouTube video or a Quizlet. So, samedi dernier, I celebrated. This is key. J'ai célébré. I need this to be with an accent. If it's not, I will not get the point, okay, for that particular grammar. If you even missed this and put je célébrais, you will still get the point for past tense if you include that E accent. I'm not happy about telling you that because I don't like inaccuracies. However, that E accent is massively important. If you put this, J, which is correct, and célèbre without the E accent, you won't get the point for the past tense. That is how important that past tense E accent really is. Please make sure to include it. So my birthday, mon anniversaire, okay? We know mon anniversaire since year 7, I hope. At a good restaurant, dans un bon restaurant. Key takeaways from this. Number 1, don't let these little words get you down. They'll be fine. Number 2, practice your days of the week. Number 3, when you're writing the past tense, make sure to put your E acute and also try to remember the whole bit. And whatever the number of points I'm on now is, have a guess and put your best guess. Don't leave a gap. Okay, so that was question 3. And now we're super close to the end. Yeah. Question 4. I've highlighted, zoomed in here to remind us that we're doing either question 4.1 or question 4.2, okay? You must not answer both of these questions. As I said at the top of this video, the examiner might be in a bad mood and go, well, the instructions clearly said answer only one and you've answered 2, so I'm marking neither of them. Or they might just go, right, I'm ignoring 4.2, I'm just marking the first one I see, which would be a shame if your 4.2 was better than your 4.1. Go through the bullet points, translate them, pick which one you like best, and then maybe even draw a big fat line through the one you're not doing, okay? So like I just said, we're going to go through the bullet points for 4.1 and 4.2, translate them, and then decide which one we like best. Vous emailez votre correspondante sur votre petit job. Décrivez. So you're emailing your pen pal or your friend about your part-time job. So that one's all right. Let's see what we got to offer for part 2. Vous écrivez un article sur votre santé pour un magazine français. Décrivez. You're writing an article about your health for a French magazine. Describe. So I'm going to go for this one. Oh, here's one I prepared earlier. What's my first job? Just like the 40-worder, my first job is to translate my bullet points, which I just put together. First things first, we're going to do our numbers. We're going to make the font a little bit bigger because I can't read it from here. I am a very old lady. Oops. Space-a-rooney. All right, we're ready to go. Now, please remember that the bullet points say what you eat, your opinion. You want to change these into I eat, my opinion, okay? So, side note, where's my text box? And I'll do it in, I don't know, should I go for like an orange? Obviously I've got to have a nice font. So, vous mangez. Oops, becomes je mange, okay? So vous mangez, you eat. I'm going to be thinking that's going to become je mange. Votre opinion is going to become mon opinion. Votre style de vie is going to become mon style de vie, okay? Please try to remember that at the start when you're sitting down to do your exam, because you're not just going to copy those out. It wouldn't make any sense. Next thing is we need our little checklist. So, do that, make it red. No, I don't want grey, I want red. Okay, so remember, it's content out of 10, language out of 6. I need one opinion, one justify, another opinion, another justify. Got the checklist, I'm ready to go. Right, bullet point number 1. Ce que vous mangez, what you eat. Right, I want to be writing about 20 words on this. What do I eat? I'm talking about healthy lifestyle. Let's talk about fruit. Let's talk about vegetables, maybe. Let's talk about fast food. So, normally, I can tick off the justify. Number 2, votre opinion du sport. Oh, it's asking for an opinion, so I can easily get one in here. Come back and pad her out later. Une activité sportive le week-end dernier, a sporting activity you did last weekend. Le weekend, spelling it like the question, dernier, past tense. I played, j'ai joué au foot, avec mes amis. Remember that important E acute. Remember your J. Also, it helps the examiner see if you put a time phrase to indicate that you're doing that bullet point in the past. Past tense indicator followed immediately by your past tense verb. I'm getting that ticked off. Le week-end dernier, j'ai joué au foot avec mes amis. Opinion, why not? C'était très, on an intensifier, amusant. Let's leave it at that. Maybe we'll shove a quelle chance in there, because we love quelle chance. And lastly, votre style de vie à l'avenir, your lifestyle in the future. So we're thinking future tense. Let's put our time phrase in because they've already given it to us. À l'avenir, you could put dans le futur. You want to say, I would like. So I've got my future tense indicator here, followed by my future tense or conditional tense verb. À l'avenir, je voudrais faire plus de sport. I would like to do more sport. And then let's go for dans le futur, jouer. I'm going to play, another future tense there. Plus de netball. I'm going to play more netball. There you go. I've done both my opinions. I've done both my justifications. I've got all 10 points for my content because I've covered all 4 bullet points. My language is out of 6, probably 6. No mistakes. Time phrase, present tense, opinion, reason, emphatic pronoun, opinion, complex structure here because we've got an infinitive structure, intensifier, opinion, time phrase, past tense, time phrase, future tense, time phrase, future tense. Okay? And also we love a quelle chance. Always put a quelle chance or a quelle horreur somewhere in your answer. So that's all 4 questions covered for your GCSE French writing paper. Hopefully that video helps. And your top takeaway tips from this are: number 1, don't panic. Number 2, use the full hour and make sure you proofread your answer. Proofreading and not proofreading, that might be the difference between, oops, I skipped a bullet point, let me quickly add it in now, and, actually missing the bullet point by mistake and losing lots of marks for that. I need you to make sure that you're revising your basics, like your months and your days, and just kind of keep going over your Quizlets with your overall vocab revision. And at the end of the day, you're almost there with GCSE French. Good luck. Bonne chance. Au revoir.